Uh, Hey guys, good evening everyone. Uh, sorry for that. The stream has to start like we are 1 hour late, and the problem we had is due to the face camera issues, and yeah, it's a bit of hectic. And sorry everyone. So today we are going to start with the conditional statement and with uh, the other thing that we are going to start is how to make a dice roller app, but this time we are not going to just keep on doing the app. We are going to check the course, and simultaneously we are going to build the app. And the second thing is that hence we have started very late. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just jump into the how to build the app, rather than starting with the conditional statements. So uh, let me close this project, and I'll start a new project. So it's an empty activity, and yeah, so it's an empty activity. So click on next, and let me give the name as dice dice roller. And yeah, select the language as Kotlin, and I'll keep it as a basic 6.0, and click on finish, and okay. So let the Gradle sync be finished. So till that time we'll check. So what we have to do is the dice rolling app is on the fourth course. So yeah, so what we are going to do is we are going to go with the course, and simultaneously we are going to build the app. So let me click on the second pathway. Yeah, so this is a basic app that we are going to build today. So we have here two things. One is a button, that is a roll button, and the first one is nothing but the a text view. So when you click on the roll button, what happens is the number gets changed. So let's say from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. Now what we are going to do is let's start our project. So we have finished this step. We have completed naming our app, that is dice roller, and let us first run our app. Okay. Okay. So the Gradle, so here you can see that the Gradle sync is finished. Let me zoom in. Okay. Yeah, here you can see that at the left corner, you can see that the Gradle sync has been finished. Now let me zoom out, and let me just run the app. So I'm going to connect Pixel 3. All right. So Pixel 3 is our emulator device, and let me just run our app. So yeah, so this was our the app that has been done in the second session. We are not going to use this app. So here you can see that the Android is just executing its task. Yeah, so here you can see that this is our app, that is nothing but the dice roller, which is the name of our app. And this the hello world is the basic, whenever you run your app, this is the basic UI that you are going to get. So let us go through our next step. Yeah, so we have followed till step 2. Now going to like step 3. So the step 3 is that we are going to add the buttons. So while we are adding the buttons, what we need is we need one button which says the role. So when you click on that role, you will get the random numbers. So for you to get the random numbers, we need a text view. So here you can see that this is our basic layout. The first layout is our text view, and the second layout is our button. So the text view will be the child, even the button will be our child. The parent will be the constraint layout. So you have the constraint layout. So inside the constraint layout, we'll be having two layouts. One is the text view, and the one is nothing but the button view. So let us go and add the button. Let me, yeah. So what we are going to go is, let me zoom this in for you. Okay. So here you can see that we have this app. So when you click on the app, so go to the Java, then resources, then click on layout. So when you click on this layout, click on activity main.xml. So here you can see that this is our blueprint and this is our UI. So next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the button. So here you can see that in the palette section you have many layouts. You have text, buttons, widgets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the buttons. Just drag and drop. So it's a normal button. So let us check for the center. Okay, I'll just randomly drop it here. Okay, so this is our the button. Now here you can see that there is an error. So let's see what this error says. So the error is that the basically the button has not been constrained. So this view is not constrained, it has only design time positions. So we have to specify to Android Studio where should be the button should be placed. So let us go to our, okay, so we have added the button layout. Now after adding the button layout, we have to position, so we have to give positions to Android Studio. So here you can see that we have to click on the blue marker, then we have to just drag it to the top of the text view. Then we need to also give the horizontal layout. Okay, so after the horizontal layout, we need to just run our app. So let us do that step. Let me open the Android Studio. Okay, so let me zoom in for you. Okay, so here you can see that this is the text view and this is the button view. So I'm going to click on this button and yeah, just so what we did is we just click on this the blue icon and you will get a top arrow, and you have to select the top arrow and you connect it to the text view. So we also need to give the horizontal constraint. So click on the right of the blue mark, then click on this side and the button to this side. So now our button has been horizontally, it is in the let us say the middle of the screen. So vertically, yes, vertically it's not centered, but horizontally it's been centered. Now let me zoom out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is so whenever you are when you're giving the constraints, let us say to the right of the screen, to the left of the screen, what's happening in here is in the attribute layout we can see that uh, from the start to the start of the parent, and from the end to the end of the parent, and from the top to the bottom of text view. So here you can see that this is the start to the start of the parent. So parent is our constraint layout, that is the outer border, and end to the end of the parent. So this is the start and this is the end. So start to the start of the parent and end to the end of the parent. Then we have top to the what bottom of the text view. So we what we have given is the top. So this top is being indicated to the bottom of the text view. All right. Now what we are going to do is let us go through the next step. So before going to the next step, let me just run this app. Yeah, so here it says that operation is successful. So let me just click on this. So yeah, here you can see that the hello world app has been run, and we have a button. So you can also check clicking on the button. So if you click on the button, you won't get any message for now. Later we'll add a message or a text saying that instead of hello world. So when you click on the button, what's happening in here is the text gets changed. Let us say from 1 to 2 or from 2 to 3, anything like that. I think there's a problem with the camera. Just give me a second. Yeah, so we are back. So what I'm going to do is, yeah, so we are going to add a text. So to add a text, let us see the, so I think there's a problem with the camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just disable it. Yeah, so sorry for that. Since the camera is not working, fine. Yeah, so we'll just go with the screen then. Yeah, so we have added the text, and now what we are going to do is we are going to change this hello world. So what we are going to do now is we'll check for the step. So let me go, let us check what is our next step. Now we have finished our third step, that is by running our app. Now this is the layout that even we are getting in here. So let me bring the emulator. Yeah, so you can see that this is exactly the same thing that we are getting here. And now we are going to do is the change the button text. So from hello world, we can just we can type it as a role. So from button to role. So we can also give some let us say the text size. And yeah, so this is what we are going to do. So from hello world, our text should display 1, and from button to role. So let us see how we can do it in our Android Studio. So you can click on the button. So when you click on the button here, you can see that let me zoom in for you. Yeah, so here you can see in the declared attribute you are getting the text as button. So let me remove that and let me type it as a role. All right, so I have given it as a role. Yeah, so when you click on that, you can see you have the role thing over here. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to change from this hello world to, let us say, 1 for now. All right, okay. So what happened is when I'm changing it to the string value, it's a string value. So whenever the app is converted to its regular language, there will be a problem. That let us say it is converting it to Kotlin language. So when it's converting to Kotlin language, what's happening here is the Android is unable to understand the role string. So we need to convert into the hard coded string. So to convert to hard coded string, just click on this, and the Android Studio will give you a suggestion. Just click on fix. Then you can just give the resource name as a role. Click on OK. Yeah, so here you can see that from role it has been changed to at string the forward slash to role. Okay, now what we are going to do is, let me close that. Okay, so here you can see that everything is working fine. Now there is also an warning symbol. So what I'm going to do is, let me click on the text view and remove this one. But when I remove this one, I won't be able to know what the text is being displayed here. So the Android Studio has a unique option where while building the code, while building the app, you can actually display the text view, but while running the app you won't be having any text displayed. So how we can do is, so you need to go to the text view and you need to check for, yeah, so here you can see the visibility. So visibility, let me check it as 1. Okay, not here. So let me click on the text view. So in the text view it has to be shown in here. Let me close this layout. Yeah, so here you can see that what you have to do is click on the text view, then scroll down where you can find a common attributes. So when you find the common attributes, let's click on 1. Okay, so here you can see that in our Android UI we have the text called as 1. So let us see, while running the app, will we get this string or not. So let me just rerun the app. Yeah, so here you can see that the difference between entering the text and while running the app. So while running the app we are not getting any text that is on displayed over here, but in the Android or UI it is displaying it as 1. So we also have an option in such a way that, only for the developers you are able to see a certain string, but while running the app you are not going to see any text values. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to do is, we are going to let us say change the, so we are going to give some message. So whenever our role is done, you will get a message at the bottom saying that a dice is rolled, something like that. And we'll also change this to our images. So let me just go through the course. Okay, so let us say that now this is the UI that we have built till now. Let me click on the next step. Yeah, so now we are going to something called as an introduction to what activities. So you have various activities in our app. So one of the thing that you can see is a gallery activity, viewer activity, editor activity. So what is this activity? Activity is basically whenever you are running the app, a certain steps has to be done, right? So for the certain step has to be done. All these steps are being carried out by the activity. So in our app, in our dice roller app, we have something called as a main activity. So let us say that in your menus, whenever you scroll down and when you click on the dice roller app, what is being done there is the dice roller app will be opened, and whenever the dice roller app is opened, the certain activities has been executed. So one of the example that I can give here is the Photos app. So when you click on the Photos app, the first activity is nothing but the gallery activity. So in the gallery activities, all the photos has to be displayed. Now the second activity is nothing but a viewer activity. Viewer activity is the when a certain user clicks on the photo and you will get a single or image is being displayed. The third activity is nothing but a editor activity. So let us say that if you want to edit the photos, then you will go to the different screen. So here you can see that you have three different screens. One is a first one is a view, let us say gallery activity, which shows the just the photos. The second activity is nothing but a viewer activity where you will be able to see a single photo. And the third activity is nothing but an editor activity. So the editor activity is where you can just edit your photos. Now the second thing we are going to do is we are going to start building our app. So we are going to start writing the codes. So where this main dot activity file is present. So here you can see that the Android resource have suggested a path, that is we have to go to app, from app to Java, and from Java to example dot dice roller, and from there you can go to the main dot activity. So let us go to the main dot activity. So to app, from app to Java, and from Java to what, dice dot roller. So here you have the three folders. One is a testing folder, and the second one is Android testing folder, and this is our main folder. So make sure that you click on the main dot activity. So let me just increase. Okay. Yeah. Let me just increase the font size. Yeah. So here you can increase the font size. So let me change it from. I'm not able to use. Yeah. So from size from 12 to at least 24. 24 is nice. Oh, okay. Not nice. Okay. So it has changed the fonts, but not that. Appearance, fonts, file colors. Okay, yeah. Let me change it to 28 something. To see. No, it's not changing in here too. So I need to change the font size, but then it's not acting. I hope you will be able to see that. I guess no. So what you're going to do is, let us just zoom in. Yeah. So when you check on the main dot activity, you have certain code here. So let me click on those four dot icon. So here you can see that you have the import options. So what are, the import is basically whenever you need to import some of the packages. So if you are worked on Python, you are going to import some of the modules, and if you worked on Java too, even in there we are going to import some packages. So in our Android Studio, all the codes will not be stored. So we are going to import some of the packages from the outside. So while importing the such packages, you will be able to execute some of the instructions. So before I have told you guys that whenever you're writing a Kotlin code, the first main thing is that you'll be having one main function. But when you check on this code, you don't have any main function over here. We do have a main function, but the function name has been changed to on create. All right. So what happening here is, so the Kotlin start executing this code, and when it starts executing this code, the on create function is the first function that is being run over here. And here you can see that we have one class, that is the main activity. So main activity is the one which is going to run these instructions, and by running these instructions, all of our activities such as adding the buttons or clicking on the button are going to be executed. So let us check what is our next step in the Android Studio course. Now, the next step that we are going to create is the enabling the auto imports. So there will be a time that whenever you are writing the code, you will be not able to understand the package name, or you will forget some of the packages name. So we have an option in Android Studio which will automatically import those files. So to automatically import those files, we need to go to File, and from File to New Project Settings, and Preference for New Projects. This is for the Mac. So if you're in Windows, you have to go to File, Other Settings, then Settings for what? New Projects. So if you go to these steps, and you will basically getting two options in here. One is for Java and Kotlin. So we need to enable two options. That is nothing but add unambiguous imports, then optimize import on the fly. So what we're going to do is, let us go to our Android Studio. So you need to go to the file. Okay, so when you click on the file, you need to go to the settings. So in settings, now you have many settings over here. So you need to click on the other settings. All right, let me zoom out. So I think this is the one where we have to go. So let me check the Android cruise again. So okay, other settings, and settings for what? New project. So other settings. So we don't have any settings for what? New project. It should have been here. Hmm. So where is that settings? That languages and frameworks. I think it might be here. No. Okay, so we need to go to the other settings, and let us go to each and every. Hmm. So additional compilers. Hmm. But the Android Jam has mentioned, like, you need to go to the file, and the other settings, and settings for new projects, where we are not able to find it for now, and the settings auto import and Java selection. So okay, so let us skip this step. Not able to find now. Let me go to file, then settings. Okay, we have links. Okay, so here you can see that the new project settings, they have changed the option, other settings, and auto import. Yeah. So I think in the course they have mentioned on the wrong pathway. So you where you need to go is, you need to go to file. Then in the file, you need to click on the new project settings, and new project settings. You need to click on the settings for the new projects. Okay. Then you can see the auto import option here. Yeah. So you need to enable these two options. That is, add unambiguous imports and optimize imports on the fly. The same thing for the Java too. So these are the four options that you need to enable. Then click on apply, then click on OK. So yeah, we have enabled our auto import options. So till now what we did is, we have enabled our auto import options, then we have also checked on the main.activity.file. Now what we're going to do is, let us go to the next step. Okay, so now you have seen, let us say, while keeping the reminders or whenever you are using the text messages, there will be a message displayed at the bottoms. The similar kind of messages will be bottom, saying that the LRAM is set for 3 hours or 7 minutes, something like that. Or whenever a text message has been sent, you will get an message saying that the message has been sent. Or if there is an error message saying that the message has not been sent, or let us say that even for setting up the LRAMs, you get an option saying that the LRAM has been set for so and so hours. So how we are going to do that? So what we are going to do is, on the onCreate function, that is our in the main activity, we have something called as onCreate method. So after the set content view, the find by ID. All right. So let me just copy this code, and let me explain you what is going to happen. So here you can see that this is our code in our main.activity. In the main.activity, after the set content view, we need to write this code. All right. So first is nothing but we are assigning a variable called as a role button. This role button has an object that is nothing but a button as an object, and find view by ID is a method. r.id.button is nothing but a resource ID for certain layouts. So let me just write this code. So in the set content view, click on enter. We're going to create a val. Then our variable will be role button. So in the role button, I am assigning it as the button as an object. So when you click on the button, you can see that our Android has automatically imported the widgets. So what I am going to do is, the role button is equal to find view by ID. So when you click on the find view by ID, what is going to happen is this method is going to find out the particular layout in our Android screen. So let us say that in our Android screen you have something called as an button layout or a text layout. So each of these layout has a particular ID. So it's our ID will be r dot ID dot, what was our ID? I think it was button, I guess. Yeah. Yes. So this is our the button variable that we have used. So here you can see that role button is the object variable that we have created with the button as an object. So this is nothing but a variable name, and find a view by ID, then RID button. So this was our how we can create a variable. Now let me go and check the course. So we have finished uh, building our app till here. Now what will be the second step? So yeah, we have to verify that whether the widget dot button is been added. Yes, it has been added to our Android studio, our Android app. Then the third thing we are going to do is, we are going to use this variable that is nothing but the role button variable, and we are going to assign some task. We are going to assign some function for that role button object. So how we can assign a function is by, you can see the code here, that is nothing but the role button. Sorry for that. So that is nothing but a role button, then set on click listener. So what is the set on click listener is that, so whenever you are going to click, that is nothing but the button role, there are certain action has to be done. So the set on click listener is a certain object which will, so what it does, it will wait, it will wait for the user to press the button. So when you press the button, what's happening here is the certain task has been executed. So what is the task that you need to execute? So I told you that we are going to display a message. So you in the Android term, in the Android terminology, we call them as a toast. All right. So here you can see that we are going to create a toast, and we are going to assign it to the variable called as a toast. In the toast method, you have something called as a make text. So the make text is nothing but is to display the text. For now you understand it as to display the text. And this make dot text, you have the two arguments. One is nothing but, so you basically have the three arguments. One is the this, and the text that need to be displayed, and the toast dot length short. So after we adding our toast, let us say the toast variable, what is going to happen is this is our code. All right. So we're going to create a variable called as a toast, then toast dot make text, then we are going to use it at this function. Then we have the dice roll, that is nothing but the text, and toast dot length dot short. Okay, let me just go to our Android Studio. Okay, now we are going to create a variable called as an, what was a variable? So variable is nothing but the, I think it was a toast variable. Yeah, yeah. So it is nothing but the toast. We have given the name as a toast, and toast make dot id, and what was this again? The make dot text, and dice road and total cost length. All right. I'm going to create a new variable called as a toast. All right. Then I'm going to assign it to what, the toast variable. So you can see that Android has automatically imported some of the files. And for toast, what I'm going to do is make.text, toast make.text. So toast make.text, so we have three arguments. One is nothing but what the function is this, that is nothing but this. And what I'm going to display it as, I'm going to display it as the dice has been rolled. Then the third argument that I'm going to give is the, that is nothing but the length of the toast symbol. What happened? Okay, so let me go to the Android Study Jam course. So this is the toast length dot short that we are going to add. So let me just copy this. Yeah. So okay. So it pasted the same thing. Let me just add it again. So what we're going to do is I'm going to copy this one. Sorry to say I'm copying, but never follow the practice of copying. It's a bad habit. But since we are going to shorten our time, I'm just going to copy the, so there's no double VAL, it's a single VAL, and the termination symbol. Okay, so we have created a toast.make text, and in this make text we have the context as this, and text as what, dice rolled. Okay, now we'll go to the course. Now here you can see that we have added the text, and we have also added the course. Now let me just run the app, and let us see whether we'll get a message in the bottom of the section. So instead of showing a temporary toast message, you'll write a quick update to a text view. So the text view will be something like the 6. So in text view, that before what we had given is the nothing but the 1. So what I'm going to do is, so whenever we'll get the number 6, the text has to be, or the Android app has to be displayed it as it is a lucky number. So how we are going to do that? So note the ID is the text view, and the lines of code that is being created. So even here for the text view, we are going to use the text view resource ID, and the same thing, that is nothing but a find view by ID. Then we are going to assign it as 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase this thing. All right, we don't need that. So instead of the, let us say, the role for role dot button, so what does the code suggest is that the use this variable and use the setter on click listener. Then set the let us say the variable result dot text is equal to text view. Then find view by what? So we are going to add is something but a val. So you can see that val is nothing but a result text view. Then we are going to create an object that is a text view. All right. So let us save it as a result view, and this is of the object what text, right? So we have given it as a text view. Then make, so we can satisfy it as a find view by ID. Then we are going to give it as r.id.text view. So yeah, this is nothing but the app that we're going to run. Alright, so we are also going to give it as a result dot. Yeah, so this is our the code that has been followed here. So we have something called as a roll button function. So when you're clicking on the roll button function, what happens is find view by ID has been invoked, and this find view by ID will search for the resource ID button. And for the resource ID button, what is going to happen is roll button dot on listener. Then the variable the result text view has been created. In a text view, you're getting it as a find view by RID text view. Then result will be the text that is nothing but the 6. Now, what is the error that we have here? Missing here. So I think there was one again. Okay, so let us just run the app. So let me just see now in the app. So we are not getting. So we are getting the text that is nothing but the 6. So when I click on the roll number, it will display the title as the 6. Okay. So we have also finished this step. Now nothing but the adding the dice row logic. So what is the raw logic that is used here? And let us see what is the even the, yeah, basically we are going to add the code, and we are also going to make it as the let us say minimum number of errors. So let me just give me let us say 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Hey guys, I'm back. So now what we are going to do is we are going to create a logic for our dice rolling app. So before doing that, I want to teach you the basic Kotlin background. Where is a Kotlin background? Uh, Let me bring the Kotlin editor. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. So now what we are going to do is we are going to write a simple function for our dice rolling app. So we'll follow the same procedure that we have followed in our the second session. So what you're going to do is first, let me erase this first. I'm going to create a function that is nothing but a main function. The main function, let it be empty for now, but then I'm going to create a class that is named dice. All right, in the dice name, so let me just zoom it. Okay, so what I'm going to add in the class fun is nothing but the rolling function. So let me write it as fun. Okay, so fun, then roll. All right, so it will return something. Let for now let us keep it as a simple. Let us say it will return something. Now in the main function, what I'm going to do is let us say that I'm going to create an object for the dice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a val that is nothing but the my first first dice. Okay, so my first dice will be equal to the dice class. All right, so what's happening here is nothing but the my first dice will take a properties of the class dice, all the properties. Okay, now let us say that I want to change the size. If I have the six size dice, I'll take it as 6. If I have a 12, I give the 12 as an argument. So let me take it as 6 here. So if I'm giving the six sided dice, it should accept the arguments. So I'm going to create a variable again here and give it as the num sides. Okay, so num side, so what it is, so it is of the type int. All right, so even in return I want to send the one number, so the number is of the type integer. So even here I want to specify it as the integer type. Okay, so return is out of from 1, let us say from, you have to select the num sides. All right, so num sides is nothing but the six the side, let us say in the my first dice, it's a six-sided dice. So in the six-sided dice, the this function rolling has to select from 1 to 6. All right, so how it will select, I'll give it as a random function over here. So let us display the result. So it's nothing but the dice result. All right, so dice result will be equal to so the my first dice, so I'm giving the rolling function property to my first dice. All right, so then I'm going to what, print, yeah, let us print saying that your, so this is just I'm writing the logic for our app. If you're not able to understand, then you can always check the course. So num sites. So what I'm doing here is I'm just printing the statement saying that your six-sided dice. So it is a six is nothing but the number. So my first dice has the property of the dice. So for the side property, I give the name as num side. So using the dot operator, I have used a dot operator, and I'm going to display it as a six number. So six-sided dice has rolled dice. Let us say result. All right. So let me just run this. Yeah. So your six-sided dice has rolled one. If I click it again, then three, then five, then two, then five. Yeah. So this is a basic logic of our app. Now let us go to here. So here you can see that this is the class that we are going to add. The same class, the class dice with the return statement. So then what I'm going to do is mark numside as a private. Yeah. So the Android Study Jam, what they are doing is to add these class. So you need to add these class. So after the last curly braces of the main activity, create the dice with the class with the role method. So what I did here is I have create a dice class. So in this dice class, I have created a rolling function. All right. So we need to add this code after the main activity. All right. So let me just add it over here. All right. So after the main activity, so this is my main activity. So click on it, then I'm going to copy paste the code. So here you can see that there is error saying that the property numbers could be private. So what the understood is telling that this the dice is a class and it has certain properties, but if you keep it as a global, any other dice can, so any other classes or object can use this property. So how can we make it as the private option? So we'll go according to the steps mentioned in the understores. So what the underscore study jam is telling us is that you need to go ahead and make the suggested fix from Android Studio by making the makes num size private. So we need to click on this make num size private. So then it will so whatever the code that we have written, let's say the num side, so it will make from private to, so from public to private. So let me click on this. Yeah, so here you can see that so he had created the variable from public to private. All right. Now we are going to create a roll dice method. So what we did is that in this class we have given a function saying that function roll. So this method, now this method we are giving it to the main activity. All right. So here you can see that so while giving the while typing the function in the main dot activity, we'll be getting an error saying that unresolved reference. So why unresolved reference? Mainly because the roll dice method, it's not mentioned in the main activity. So we need to create another function in the main dot activity itself. All right. So let us do that. Now this is nothing but the roll function. So what is the name that we are going to give is nothing but the roll dice. All right. Okay. So let me go to the Android Studio. Then after the main dot activity, so I think we are going to erase all of this code. Yeah. So we need to replace the code in the click listener that sets the text to 6 with the roll dice. Okay, so we are going to replace the code that is nothing but whatever is there to what roll dice function. Okay, So what does this function does? This function is just nothing but it is going to give you the random numbers. So here you can see that we need to click on the create function, because yes, it's a function and it's first time that I'm going to mentioning it about. So create a function. Yeah, so here you can see that I have created the roll dice, and so it is here in the private function it says that the to do, that is nothing but I did not mention anything that what the roll dice function has to do. So and you can say that here is a private keyword too, saying that this function is only accessible to this main activity. All right. So let me zoom it. So here you can see that this function, that is nothing but a roll dice, is only accessible for the main activity. So we have mentioned here the private keyword. So the yellow font, it says that to do is nothing but whenever the roll dice has to be done, it needs to execute this function, the certain steps. But now we did not implement any function or any task. So let us add some task over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to the Android Studio. Okay, the course. So these are the steps that you are going to create now. First is nothing but the same as the steps that is mentioned here. We are going to first create a dice object. Then we are going to store the role, that is nothing but the random function. We are going to store it in the variable the dice result, and we are going to print the result. The same thing we are going to follow in our Android Studio too. First, we are going to create a variable called as a dice. All right, then we are going to store the result, that is nothing but a variable dice result, dice roll in the dice roll variable. Then what happening in here is also while running the code there is no UI or there is no button or something like that. But since Android Studio has the text layout and the button layout too, it needs to find out the resource ID. So how we can do that? We can do that by writing variable result text view. Now what's happening here is that the text view is uses the text, but we are sending the number, so we are going to convert into what? To string. So result text view dot to string. So all of these function we are going to write on the Android Studio now. Okay. So first thing is that, let me remove this. First is nothing but I'm going to create a variable. So what will be the variable is nothing but so what is the variable that has been mentioned in the Android Studio? Okay, dice. The same variable will be mentioning over here. That is nothing but dice is equal to dice of what? 6 size. Okay, then we are going to create our dice result, saying that the dice result will be equal to nothing but the dice function along with the roll. Dice function along with the roll. Right, now we are going to, all right, so why it's not coming. Okay, so we have assign the two variables, that is nothing but the dice roll and also the dice. Next is nothing but we are going to give the text ID to our result text view. So let me just copy both of this code and I'll explain you in the Android Studio. Okay, let's this and okay. So I should there's a error saying in our Android Studio. Yeah, so basically instead of result I need to type it as a role. All right, So that nice dot okay. So what is happening over here is that we have declared the two variables, and after declaring the two variables, there is so what we are going to do is we are going to store the number 6 or this 5 4 3 2 1, all those numbers in the variable called as a result text view. All right, so result text view has to find the resource id. So for finding the resource id, we are giving it as a find view by id method. And when you give the find view by id method, we are going to convert the dice roll, that is nothing but this number, to the string. Why? Because the text view only accept the string value. All right, but the dice roll will return us the number. So here you can see that this is nothing but a roll function. The roll function will give us the number, let us say from 1 2 3 or anything. So this is nothing but an integer value. So from integer value we need to convert into what? The string value. So I have written here that is nothing but to string. All right, so for finding the resource id, I have mentioned the function, mentioned the method, that is find view by id. Then after finding the id, you need to store the, that is nothing but the result, to this result text dot text view. So dot text is nothing but this result text view has to display, let us has to return in the format, the text format, let's say the string format. All right, now the next thing that we are going to do is the just run our app, and let us see that if our Android Studio can give us the, okay, there is a certain terminate process. Okay, let us terminate that. Okay, operation is successful. Okay, so here you can see that there is no number over here. Let me click on that. Yeah, you can see the 5 number, the 3 number, the 4 number, 3 4 5 6. So these are all the numbers that is been displayed. So let us increase the font of this 4 3. So let us go to the layout, and let me click on this thing. All right, so let me go here and let us say rerun our app again. Okay, so sorry. All right, one. Operation successful. So yeah, here you can see, cannot see the values, but after pressing roll, yeah, you can see the number 6 3 2 1 4 6, all those random numbers. All right, so we have finished our step till here. Now there are some things that about the good practicings, good coding practicing. So instead of writing a roll dice over here, we can write it in one function saying that roll button set on listener, so removing the white spaces. Yeah, so reformat is nothing but it'll also help you like formatting the code in a very neat way. And let's say we can also add the comments. So for now we're not going to do that. It's a solution code. Okay, so we have finished our the, that is nothing but the second pathway. So let me sign in this. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so here you can see that we have finished about creating an interactive dashboard app. So let's add the conditional behavior to Kotlin. So the thing about the condition is it's very easy. So let us say that, let me just copy this function, and I'll explain you in the coding background. If I run the code, so here you can see that this is a basic what you say, the conditional statement. So conditional statement is basically that you need to either select, either give the result, or let us say if you, whenever you are getting an option, So when you click on the button, you need to display this number. When you not click on the button, you need to get this result. So if you here you can see that the variable num5. So if I'm giving the variable 5, since the variable 5 is greater than 4, you need to print this result. Now I can also give it like an else statement, saying that else if statement, saying that if number is less than 3, then just print number is less than 3, then you just run the code. So here hence we have given the number as 5, so let me the number as 2. Now if you check the output, yeah, so number is less than 3. So this is a basic condition. If you have worked with the C or even the Python, so you'll get a habit of working with the condition. So condition is a basic thing in the coding. All right, so these are all those things that we're going to do. So using else if functions too. Yeah, so let me just give you another view. So what I'm going to do is so number is nothing but, let us say, yeah, due to the time congestion, we are not going to deep into this for the conditional behavior. It's already 6:40, so yeah, we'll continue with our app and try to finish our app as fast as possible, because yeah, so I'll tell you basic thing about using a when statement is that, so roll result is nothing but the result that we'll get from the random function. Okay, now let us say that my lucky number is 4. So while let us say that now the roll function has given me the number 7. So what the number 7 does is, the number 7 will be compared to the lucky number, which is nothing but the 4. So is 7 equal to the lucky number? No. Is 7 equal to 1? No. Is 7 equal to 2? No. Is 7 equal to 3? No. So it will just go and comparing. So let us say that now the roll function has given me the result as 4. Now is roll result, which is nothing but a 4, is 4 is equal to the lucky number? Yes. So if this condition, that is roll result equal to lucky number, is true, then it needs to execute this statement, that is nothing but the println. Okay, this is all that for the when condition. So why we are using the when condition is that, if you go back to the if else, now here you can see that if else, it's a very lengthy code. So instead of writing a very lengthy code, what we can do is we can just use the when statements too. So this is a basic thing about the when condition statements. So yeah, here you can see the solution code. So this is nothing but the class which has the properties such as the number of sites and the rolling function. Then you have the when. So this when condition will actually print you all these statements. So if your lucky number is 4, then you can print this statement. If your number is 4, let us say 5, then you to print this statement. If your number is 2, then you to print this statement. All right, so this is a basic thing about the conditional statements. Now let us move ahead to adding the images to the dice roller app. Yeah, so what we're going to do is, instead of the first we had is nothing but the numbers 1 2 3 4 5 6. So instead of the numbers, now what we are going to have is nothing but the images. So let me just go and yeah, first we'll add the images. All right, so need to add some constraints too. Okay, we'll do that, and we need to download the images. So let me just open this file. All right, so these are the images that I need to download. Just a second. Let me just extract the file. Yeah, all right, we did that too. Now let us go and add remove the text. All right, so here in the layout you can see that we have this text. So what you're going to do is we are going to delete this. Delete. uh, yeah, so we have deleted the text view. Now let us add the image. Okay, so let me just put it here. So for now I'll just put a basic avatar. All right, so while adding the basic image layout, here you can see you have the two errors saying that okay, you did not add the constraint, you did not add the constraints too. So let us add the constraints. So first let us add the constraint for the image view. So from the top of the avatar to the top of the screen, from the left to left side, from the right arrow to the right constraint layout, and from the bottom to bottom constraint layout too. Okay, so our image is basically it's in the what you can say it's centered both horizontally and vertical too, but our button is not being centered. So what we'll do is we'll click this and we'll add it over here. All right, now let us give it as here. Okay, so let me just where is declared, where is the layout thing. Okay, so I'll keep it as 16. All right, the space between that. Now we can just delete this thing. All right, yeah, so is our Mhm. So yeah, then yeah. So let me just make it in middlemost. Let me just center it. All right, now let me drop down there. Yeah. So this is our app. Now let us run our app. Let's see that. Yeah. So here you can see that I'm getting an error saying that the main dot activity is not able to find the text view. The basic reason, so the reason for this is that we have just deleted the text view and we have added the image. So what you're going to do is let us add the image now. So to add the images, you need to go to resource manager. All right, then you have to click on this icon, then import drawable. All right, so just go to download, the download, yeah, download and dice images. So yeah, you need to click on this everything. All right, yeah, so here you can see that this is our dice image. This is nothing but a resource id. Dice 4, dice 3, dice 2, dice 1 is nothing but a resource id. Now next, click on next. Yeah, so here you can see that all the dices has been imported. So we have finished our step till here. All right, so here you can see that r.drawable.dice1 is the first one, then the r.drawable.dice2 is nothing but the resource id for the dice 2 and resource id for the dice 3 and such going on. Yeah, now in the design editor select the image view. Okay, So we need to find this attribute source as source compact attribute. Okay. So let us do that first. So what it's telling is that if you click on this image icon, you'll get yeah. So you can see that the source compact attribute. So I'll set just select the dice one. So since the width and image is very high, you can just go to the where is that option? Sometimes yeah. So instead of so what are the so what you need to give is in the attribute window under constraint widget, locate the layout width and the current is have to wrap content. So what you're going to do is we are going to set the width is equal to 160 dp and height is equal to 200 dp. Okay, we can do that too. 10 16 dp we already did that. Okay, so let us do these things first. So let me go to here and go to the constraint widget and transform. So you can see there's nothing but a common attribute. So where is the width? Yeah. So instead of that, I'll give the width as 160 dp. So why it's not happening? Why it's not taking the 160 dp over here? Yeah. So width as 160 dp and height as 200 dp. Yeah. So here you can see that there is our dice image with the button. So we have finished our step till here. Now let us check the next step. So change the dice image when the button is clicked. So now what is going to happen is that whenever we are going to press the button that is nothing but a roll, it has to change the image. All right. So how can we do that? So we are going to just delete the text view. All right. Yeah. So instead of from the RID text view, we're going to change it as RID image view. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy both these things. All right. So I'll explain you in the Android Studio main.activity. So the text view is already not there. Since the layout is not found out, we can set it as what image view. Image view. All right. So since we know it of this result text, we can just oops. All right. It's not a text view. It's an image view too. It's an image. All right. So let me just remove this and just paste the code itself. Okay. So what is happening over here is you have set it to image view. So find a view ID will find the image view. This is nothing but an object. So here you can see that we have given the dot dice2 is nothing but the object that we have given. So if we run our app, so let's run our app. Mhm. Yeah, let us terminate this process and let us see our app is done. Yeah, so first you are not able to see the image, but once when I click on roll, then you'll be able to see too. Yeah, that's what we did till now. Now we did this too. So display the correct dice based on the dice roll. So if the dice roll is 1, let us say that in the Okay, let us say that if number is equal to 1, then you need to print the statement. So in the same way we are going to use this, that is nothing but we are going to use these conditions. So when the dice roll, that is nothing but the rolling function. When you get the result, if the result value is 1, then you need to print the first result. If the result value is 2, you need to print the second result. If the result value is 3, then you need to print the third image. All right. So what we are going to do is we are going to remove the statement which was there. Then we'll add this statement, that is nothing but dice remote set image resource. So set image resource is nothing but we are going to find out the image resources. Instead of find view by id, we are going to set the resource id. All right, so let me just copy this code and I'll explain you in the Android Studio code center. Okay, so instead of the find view image, we are going to set the view image. So what's happening here is, so when the dice roll is 1, it will display the first dice, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. All right, so yeah, that's it. Now when we run our app, it should display the image. All right. Mhm. So let us run our app. Yeah, so first the image will not be displayed. So when you click on 1, you'll get a 1 as a random integer. If I click on, so here you can see the 4, 6, 4, 2, and 3, 6. So these are this is our app that we made today. So dice roller app, and here you can see when you click on the roll button to say 5 to, so what's happening here is, if the number is 3, they need to display the dice 3 image, which is this image. If it dice is 4, then dice is 5. So yeah, this is the app that we have built. So thank you so much guys that today we went through the dice roller app. Then we have also seen the condition statements too. So due to the since the deadline for the conducting the live session is on the 25, this will be our last live session. So thank you so much everyone, but don't stop studying the courses. The Android study jam will be open, and you can access it at anytime you want. It won't be there is no deadline for the course. And also for the profile, make sure that you keep on updating the Google developer profile. It might be handy one day, and it might be very useful too. So I would also like to thank Developer Student Club for giving this opportunity, and the SOC Sadhi open source community. So please check our Sadhi open source community website too. And we are an open source organization. So we'll keep on bringing new things, Android Study Jam, clouds, and we'll keep on moving forward. And thank you guys. We'll see you next time.